To the girl I hurt. This letter has been on my heart for a long time. It's not something I expect you to respond to or forgive right away or ever honestly. But I need to say it. For you and for me. We were together for over 2 years, and for a lot of that time I truly loved you. You were only the second person I'd ever been with, and our relationship felt like it held everything. Closeness, growth, memories, and firsts. But underneath that, something else was growing, something I wasn't honest about. From the beginning I saw how amazing you were, and quietly I was terrified of not being enough for you. I worried that someone better was always around the corner. Someone who could make you happier, laugh more, love easier. I never said it out loud, but I felt it, especially when I dropped you off at bars or parties. I tried to act like I was chill, like I could handle it. But inside I was afraid. That fear only grew when you started keeping things from me. Hanging out with guys and not telling me, saying you hid it because it might upset me. And I get that. But it made me feel even more on edge. Pushed it down. I tried to be strong. But I wasn't. I was scared and ashamed of that fear. I thought love meant pretending to be okay. Then came the first breakup. That shook me. You told me you never really loved me, just thought you did. And that broke something inside me. Even when we got back together, I never really loved the same again. Not because I stopped caring, but because I didn't feel safe anymore. I started loving you in silence. Deep down I still cared deeply, but I buried it. I was scared of being hurt again. Then you told me that during our breakup you danced with a guy. You talked to others. And even though we weren't together at that moment, it wrecked me. It made my fear feel justified. It confirmed what I was terrified of, that I could be replaced. That I wasn't enough. And instead of healing, I shut down. After that, everything started spiraling. We had more fights. There were more secrets. I became more insecure, more controlling. Every time you talked to another guy, my chest would tighten. I didn't say it out loud, but I started obsessing. Watched you. Questioned things. I didn't trust you, and I never admitted it. But I didn't. Eventually you cheated. I didn't know at first, but I felt it. I knew something was off. Caught lies, saw signs. My mind raced constantly. When I finally saw the messages, the ones you tried to delete, I confronted you and you broke down. You told me the truth. That was it. That was the moment everything changed. My biggest fear came true. And still, I stayed. Not because I truly forgave you. Not because I saw a future again. I stayed because I couldn't let go. Because if I left, you'd be gone. You'd move on. You'd find someone else. And I couldn't handle that. I stayed so you wouldn't get away. Not out of love. Out of fear. That's the part one hates admitting the most. Here's what I haven't said yet. From then on, the relationship wasn't about love anymore. It became about control. I watched everything you did. I stalked your social media. I double-checked your words, your tone, your texts. I wanted you to lie. Because if I caught you, I could feel like I had the power again. Like I mattered more. I treated you like a game. And I hated myself for it, but I couldn't stop. It wasn't love I was feeling. It was anxiety dressed up as love. It was attachment. Dependency. Fear of emptiness. I had confused the two for so long that I didn't know the difference. That ache in my stomach, the panic when you didn't text back, the rush when you said you missed me, I called it love. But it was survival. And it was destroying both of us. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But I wasn't transforming. I was disappearing. I lost myself in that relationship. I shrank. I compromised my truth to stay close to someone who had already shown me they could break it. I believed I needed you to feel whole, and that belief drove me to emotional extremes. I realize now that I wasn't just reacting to you cheating. I was reacting to years of unhealed wounds. My sense of self-worth had never been solid. I had always tied it to whether someone wanted me, stayed with me, needed me. I had never really stood on my own. So when she hurt me, I collapsed inward, and instead of rebuilding, I tried to glue my pieces to your presence. That's not love. That's fear. That's emotional dependence. And it's on me to own that. Yes, you cheated. You broke the foundation. But I built the cage I stayed in. I tried to manage the pain through control, manipulation, and performance. I stopped being honest not just with her but with myself. I wasn't showing my pain for the sake of healing. I was using it. I made it a performance. Not because I'm evil or manipulative, but because I was still acting from fear, from attachment. I wasn't trying to reconnect from a place of love. I was trying to pull you back into the role of caretaker, as if you owed me comfort for the damage we both helped cause. That wasn't strength. That wasn't growth. That wasn't love. That was still fear, just wearing a new face. And now I'm finally facing that too. I see how deeply I abandoned myself trying to hold on to something that wasn't right. I see how I've confused pain with purpose, intensity with connection, chaos with love. But I'm not going to keep living in those patterns. I'm not going to keep trying to make someone else fix what only I can face. I'm done outsourcing my healing. I'm done performing pain in hopes of earning attention. I'm done shrinking, twisting, chasing, and clinging. Caused fights. I made you feel guilty. I tried to make you hurt the way I was hurting. I manipulated the truth to protect my pride. Delight. I withheld things to try and be who I thought you wanted, not who I was. I resented you sometimes. I even resented the relationship. But I also kept chasing the highs. The makeups. The closeness after chaos. I was addicted to that cycle. And you got caught in it. Even after we broke up for the last time, I didn't stop. I tried to delay it. I tried to get you to reconsider. I dropped a love letter at your door. I stalked your pages. I checked who you were following. I logged you out of shared accounts so you'd have to think of me. I hoped that if you thought about me long enough, you'd miss me. You'd come back. But instead you pulled away. And I get it now. I turned your love for me into pressure. I turned your kindness into resentment. Every time I saw you hurt, every time I saw what I was doing to you, it hurt me too. Killed me. Because deep down I knew it was wrong. In those moments I dropped the games. I showed up for you fully. I loved you honestly. I was really there, and it wasn't about control. It was just love. But still, felt the control. I felt the power in those moments because when you needed me, I felt secure again. I felt like you wouldn't leave. And that security, it became my comfort. I didn't know how to tell. The truth is, I was insecure our entire relationship. And I was ashamed of that. I thought I could hide it, control it, overcome it, but I couldn't. Drove me. It shaped every decision I made. And in the end, it hurt you. Deeply. There were so many times I wanted to tell you the truth, to be honest about what I was feeling, to tell you how scared and broken I really was. But I didn't. Held it in. Because I was afraid that if you saw me fully, the mess, the fear, the pain, you'd leave. Or worse, you'd look at me differently. Not with love, but with pity or frustration. I thought that if you knew the truth, I'd lose you. So I kept building the lie. I kept pretending to be stronger than I was. And all that did was push us further away. I never trusted you after the cheating. I said I did. I wanted to. But I didn't. I combed through every detail like I was trying to catch you again. I made you carry my pain. I turned love into guilt, and care into surveillance. You didn't deserve that. You deserved someone who gave you space, who trusted you, who stood strong in who he was. And I wasn't that person. I let fear drive everything. I tried to control what I couldn't. I stayed for the wrong reasons. And I let you take the fall for wounds that were mine.